incredibly rare item comes at a cost.
We'd want a really good price for that because they can get oodles for them.
At a historic foundry in Loughborough, for Drew the bell tolls, loudly.
I really want it.
And at a stately home in Shropshire, an antique toy stable sets pulses galloping.
It's such a nice decorative thing. I mean, if you don't want it, I'll try and buy it from you. Well, I'm very willing for you to try.
Drew Pritchard is one of Britain's leading decorative salvage dealers.
Wow. Blimey. Look at this.
He scours the country in search of weird and wonderful objects.
I love that. Oh, that's a stonking one. Look at that.
Hins hard.
16. 17.50. 16. Sold. Marvellous.
And there's nothing he won't buy.
I would sell it for 2,000.
I've got to get a deal. It's in my nature.
With help from Rebecca.
That's rather good. You drive me around the bend. Lovely. I'll just go downstairs and we'll sort out payment.
And a team of renovators, he transforms thousands of items from junk to gems. At Drew Pritchard Limited in North Wales, the team are carefully wrapping and packaging the beautiful items that have been sold before they're sent to their new owners all over the globe.
We'll ship that to you ASAP.
Drew's business is known for its quality antiques, especially lighting, furniture and industrial items. To ensure he has a regular supply of them, he has to focus on specific locations.
We know we can get a particular kind of stock.
The best way for me to restock on certain types of items, so say country house furniture, go to a country house. Industrial, the same, go to a factory. Ecclesiastical, the same, you go to a religious building. That's what we do. We just target somebody and go after that particular thing when we need it.
Drew and T are targeting a place just over 50 miles away in Liverpool. His intention is to get some ecclesiastical pieces from a very obvious source.
We're off to St Francis Xavier Church. Churches and chapels and religious buildings have been really good for us because they do that thing, you get quantity. They didn't very often buy one of something. They've been really good for us, churches, important to the business over the years. So all in all, today could be excellent.
Liverpool is one of the UK's most iconic. It also brought an explosion in the local population as people migrated to find work here. Just 2 miles into town, St Francis Xavier's Grade II listed church was built in the mid-1800s and opened to the parish, which had rapidly expanded due to the Irish potato famine. It's played a central role here for nearly 170 years. The church is now in the care of Father Dennis Blackledge and Assistant Debbie Reynolds, who feel the church's history is worth making a song and dance over.
St Francis Xavier's, affectionately known as SFX in Liverpool, was built in 1848.
It's had wonderful history. At one stage, at the end of the 1800s, it was the biggest parish in numbers, 13,000, in the country. Now, it's maybe occasionally weddings, you might get married even these days, and certainly funerals.
To raise money for a new remembrance garden at the church, Dennis and Debbie are hoping to have a clear-out.
We've got bits of candelabra, some behind the high altar, pedestals. We're going to have a see what Drew's interested in and whether T can carry it, you know. Hi, very welcome, Drew. I'm Dennis.
Drew, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. Blimey. Look at this.
It's got the wow factor.
It has definitely got the wow factor. Whenever we got a call to do a Catholic church interior, we were like, get in the van quickly because you've always got the best kit. Factor. By coming to religious buildings, we're able to restock the website with the sort of antiques that people want from ecclesiastical buildings these days. It tends to be simple chapel chairs, side tables, lighting.
Knowing exactly the kinds of items he's looking for, Drew wants to kick off behind the altar.
It's Aladdin's cave. It's a mess.
No, it's great. These would be of interest. Those two, marbleised timber probably. Yep.
What about the old wooden box?
The one box, well, it's got stuff in the drawers as well, hasn't it? I've just spotted all this stuff. Yeah. So you don't use this either?
Nope.
They're using behind the altar and the reredos as storage space. Never seen the like of it before. And there's loads and loads of gear in here. There's all sorts of stuff that I like.
The 11 covered in original handwritten labels. Unusual and with great character, it could be worth around £400.
In the state it's in, I'd be wanting to pay a couple of £100 in the state it's in. You happy with that? Marvellous. Thank you very much. I want to sort of talk about these ones as well.
Right, okay.
Got a really nice bit of age to them. Solid. Also behind there is a set of faux timber marble columns, but they're not hugely saleable, but if you need a pair, there's never many around either.
This pair of timber pedestals, probably from the Victorian era, have been painted to give them. These are a classic piece of ecclesiastical decoration, which can also work well in the home as picture or plant holders. Not often found on the market, they could be worth around £600.
In that state, again, £250. Marvellous, thank you very much.
Drew's done 2 deals so far, and with everybody warmed up, wants to see what else might be tucked away.
There's stuff up there. Am I better off going up there?
Have a mooch up there. Just be careful.
Oh, blimey, look at those.
Yeah.
Have you seen what's up here?
Yes.
Do you want to sell them?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. At the right price.
T. Yeah. I'm really sorry.
No, you're not. Everything's up there for grabs. At the
Blimey.
price. We'll negotiate later.
A pair of pillars and 8 brass altar candelabras. Probably made in the interwar years, these were designed to flank an altar or religious centrepiece. The 2 with the deeper curve are more ornate in design, and coming as a pair are especially attractive. Together, the 8 candelabras could be worth around £800.
This lot here, but the value is those 2. And
Can you do them as a job lot or
I'll do it as a job lot. Okay. It'll be a job lot, and I'll want to pay you £300 for the lot, and no more. The other ones-
£350?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
And you did get them down.
And I did get them down.
Yeah.
Drew's plan of targeting the church for ecclesiastical items is paying off so far. He's got some great pieces, buying all 8 candelabras. For a further £320, he's also adding the large pillars to his haul.
Salvage dealers' repertoire essential. You're able to buy large-scale items, particularly things like those candlesticks. They're of a large, odd scale that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Drew's doing exactly the kind of deals he wanted to find across the candelabras and pillars. But during all the rummaging, he spied another very promising antique.
Now, I can't help. I've got to just mention it, that pair of chairs that you've
I
got
know.
over there.
They'd be worth a fortune.
They're worth a few quid, yes.
Yeah.
Where on earth did they come from? Because they match nothing else in here.
No, they're fantastic.
At all.
They're
At
fabulous.
all. They're full-on Gothic, English Gothic.
Yeah.
These chairs are by Pugin. Now, they're not by the father A.W., they're by the son. It doesn't get much better. I cannot believe what I'm looking at.
Edward Welby Pugin and his father Augustus Pugin were both noted neo-Gothic architects and designers of the 19th century, predominantly creating churches and pieces for ecclesiastical use. The pair gained an international reputation for their beautiful, clean-lined creations. Today their work is some of the most treasured of the era, and to find untouched originals is incredibly rare. These chairs are slightly damaged, but the pair could be worth around £5,000.
We'd want a really good price for that because
I absolutely love them.
you get oodles for them.
Right, let's kick off. £1,000.
No, I'd need more than that.
Salvage expert Drew Pritchard is in Liverpool. He's targeted St Francis Xavier's Church, knowing that focusing on specific locations will throw up the kinds of objects he's after.
It has definitely got the wow factor.
So far, it's paid off. He's bought 13 large religious items, and he's now trying to do a deal on a rare pair of 19th century chairs by celebrated designer E.W. Pugin.
Right, let's kick off. £1,000.
No, I'd need more than that.
Do you have a figure in mind?
12.
Yeah, that's the same on the other side.
Is it?
Yeah, they're quite badly damaged. Actually falling to bits.
So we're sticking to 1,000. Not even a 50 on.
And they're one of the nicest pairs of chairs I've ever bought. They're incredible. They are perfection in design, condition, scale, size, colour, history, everything. They've got absolutely everything I'm always looking for.
Drew's doing some amazing deals on quality church objects. Before he calls it a day, there's one last place he wants to check out.
Ooh, look at that lot. Oh, I like that. That's nice. A thurible.
Is that you burning incense?
Yeah.
That's really charming, that one.
I mean, in the old days, incense was used to get rid of the pong in churches.
There's one thing amongst everything, and it's called a thurible, coming out of it, a little bit of smoke, and there's the chanting, as my friend calls it, the bells and the smells, which I think is wonderful in these churches, real like theatre to it. And it's got a good look about it, the patina and everything that it's got and gained over the years, and it's not that old. It's a different thing, it's an odd thing, and it's fun.
This thurible is nickel-plated and has intricate trefoil or leaf-shaped designs. Around 50 years old, it's well worn, but once buffed up, it could be worth around £170.
Well, then give us a price.
I've no idea. I've never bought one. 100 quid.
No, you need a bit more than that. 150?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Very good then. We bought some of the best things I've bought in years.
He's been fantastic. He's so professional, so easy to deal with. We've had a bit of fun. Yes. It's been terrific. I mean, it's been really, really worthwhile.
Thank you very much.
A real pleasure.
Thank
you.
High five, man. I shake your
Cheers.
hands. Yeah, you
I'll do both. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
It's been a great day.
Well, that was good.
They were great as well today, weren't they?
That is one of the funnest church clearances I've ever done. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing day.
With so many items to get into the warehouse back at base, Drew wants to show the team what he's bought.
Good trip.
We have done very well.
Have you?
Both sets of those are turn of the century.
Okay. Churches have always been good for business for us, especially Catholic churches, because they tend to be heavily over-decorated. The faux marble columns at £200 is a really good price. Oh, I like this.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been made with all the drawers canted to one side.
On purpose.
Looks like it.
It's drunk.
I just thought it was lovely. Now, brace yourself.
Good grief.
So they're E.W. Pugin, 1870.
Are they?
Absolutely dead right. Paid 1,050.
Oh my giddy aunt, they're amazing.
It's about as good as it gets for me.
Pugin chairs. Therefore.
Drew's continuing his strategy and is on his way to Loughborough, around 150 miles away. He's targeting a very specialised business in order to get some very different kinds of antiques.
Targeting businesses with heavy industry is always good for us. Industrial items do really well on the website, and also it's a great way of finding bespoke, unusual items that you just can't get anywhere else.
We're off to see Simon at John Taylor and Company, which are the largest bell founders in the world.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'm hoping for good things. I do know an interesting fact about this lot.
Go on then.
They made the bell for AC/DC's Hell's Bells.
Loughborough has a long tradition of specialist industry, and evidence of the bell business is visible everywhere, from the impressive War Memorial Bell Carillon to the names of the streets. The Bell Foundry has been in the care of the Taylor family since the 18th century, moving to this site in 1859. This historic business is also the world's largest bell foundry, producing some of the UK's most famous examples. One of its directors is passionate bell ringer Simon Adams.
John Taylor Bell Foundry started in 1784. I've been here since the beginning of 2009. A lifelong interest in church bells is what brought me here. It's a hobby that's turned into a business. The process hasn't changed for hundreds of years how bells are made, and it's absolutely unique, the English method of casting bells. We've made large Cathedral London.
Drews targeted the foundry, hoping to pick up bespoke items relating to heavy industry. And over the last 150 years, plenty of discarded manufacturing pieces have piled up.
We've got old moulding tables, some electric light fittings, odd castings. Looking forward to showing Drew around to places where people don't normally get to go round here, and hopefully he can find something of interest to him that we would regard as hidden treasure.
Hello, Simon, how are you?
Morning, Drew.
How are you?
Morning, T. Good to see you.
Blimey. My God. Tell me about this.
Most of these are down for recasting for a project in Cheltenham. They've got a pile of 12 bells that aren't very tuneful, and the only way to improve them is to melt them down.
I'm amazed. Aren't you?
It's stunning, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm just glad I don't have to carry him round.
Yeah. Literally, my face had hit the floor. I was like, I expected, like, you know, a little place. Look at it. Staggering.
Drew's never seen a bell-making process, so before they get down to any potential deals, he wants to have a look around.
What's this place then?
This is a tuning shop,
Right.
where the bells have their machining to bring them into perfect musical accord.
Are these ready to go?
These are part of a new peel for Richmond in North Yorkshire.
Each bell can sound 5 notes, which need to be perfectly tuned by machining the exact amount of metal from each. It's a process requiring precision skill of expert.
It took me about 14 hours to tune. You've got to watch all the 5 notes. It's got to be right in the balance, otherwise the people can tell. If you listen, this one is tuned, so you can tell the difference.
That sounds terrible.
8 bell, so it's 40 notes.
So you've got to balance these
I've
40
got to-
times?
Yeah.
The bell has to be in tune with itself and in tune with all its neighbours as well. Would you like to sound them?
Yes, please. That's great. Brilliant. I am staggered. That's quite incredible. It's very important for me as a dealer to get into old buildings like this for lots and lots of reasons. The main thing is that they will have had bespoke things made for them, and also the size of this place. Something gets left.
Foundry hoping to pick up some authentic and historical pieces, and the most obvious and beautiful things here are the bells themselves.
You've got some bells possibly for sale. Is it this pair here?
These pair here, they're a matching pair cast by ourselves. The reason they're here is because they were exchanged for more modern bells.
Okay.
They're literally as they were from 1874 when they left here, so they're completely unrestored and in their original as-cast condition.
Which is exactly what I want. Unsurprisingly, today we're surrounded by loads of bells, and a lot of them are antique originals. People do like them, and mainly it's down to the history, the foundry and the dates.
These 19th century bells from a church in North Yorkshire have been replaced by a more modern harmonically tuned pair. Bells that take too much work to be mended are recast or sold on. These ones have the original.
It's all down to price. I've bought and sold loads of them in the past, coming off demolition sites.
It's nice to have a matching pair.
Matching pair, dated, is very good. So I'm not up at the moment on what they're worth.
800 for the pair?
No. Just feels too much. 500 quid.
They owe us more than that.
They owe you more than that.
They do, yeah. 650?
Still feels like too much, doesn't it? 600.
Salvage expert Drew Pritchard has to pinpoint specialist locations in order to find one-off quality items in order to get his hands on some manufacturing salvage. He's at John Taylor & Co., the world's largest bell foundry, bidding on a pair of 19th century bells, but so far he and manager Simon have struggled to agree on a price.
800 for the pair?
No. Just feels too much.
650?
Still feels like too much, doesn't it? 600.
Okay, done.
Okay. When we come to places like this that are different, you're looking for the unique, and that's what getting into these places gives you the opportunity to do. And exactly what I wanted to happen has happened. We found here something exceptional. It's phenomenal.
Are hung and made.
This is the wood yard where we make all our timber fittings.
I'll tell you what I do want to look. I want to look at this. Tell me about this. Wow.
This is our wheel making table.
I've got to ask, can I buy this?
Unfortunately not. It's part of our working kit.
That is fabulous.
We might have a bigger one somewhere that we don't use.
I want it.
Can I resign now before you buy the bigger one?
The factory definitely has the kind of items Drew was hoping to find. This bespoke wheel table isn't for sale, but it's certainly got him interested.
The wonderful thing about this table is that is made for doing that job. Nobody else will have one. This table is why we try and get into places like this, try and get into factories, old manufacturing units, because of that. Because you find stuff like this, which is just jaw-dropping.
The tabletop discarded beneath a large storage area. It was in use but isn't anymore and has no base.
Oh my word.
If that's of interest to you.
What a thing.
That's for making even bigger wheels than the ones you've seen today.
I really, 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 really want it. I have never bought one of those.
You should put a base on that. That's the most awesome
That is
dining table, isn't it?
The most awesome dining table in the world.
We get all the knights round that.
We're stood in front of a piece of industrial history, a big one, that would, I think, make the best single garden, or much better than that.
This bespoke 3-metre wide 19th century table was made for the specific purpose of producing bell wheels in which bells are suspended and then operated by ropes. A unique industrial piece, it bears almost 2 centuries of oil staining and wear. Unlike anything else on the market, once attached to a base and with the oil removed, this table could be worth around £2,500.
I would actually have to check to see if we can actually sell it or whether we're going to need it for anything.
What do you want for it?
700?
If you want to sell it, I'll buy it. All day long.
Okay, we'll consider it to be subject to approval.
Sold subject to contract.
A done deal.
If I can, I'm buying it. It's fabulous, but a hell of a lot of work.
Out whether he can seal the deal on the large tabletop. In the meantime, he wants to see if he can find any other pieces of industrial salvage scattered around the enormous foundry.
So what we've got in here then?
Paint shop where the clappers are done.
These lights.
Oh yes, I've forgotten about those, yeah. There's a rather large one there.
Have you got any more of that one? One at the back there? Are they a pair? That's great. What colour's the outside? Grey. Yeah. Was also available in grey. Yeah.
Well, that's untouched.
These 3 lights are industrial discharge lights, meaning they're designed to give off an especially bright beam. They're very worn with age and use, but the bell shape of one and the others as a matching pair means they could be worth around £450.
Over the years.
Give me a price for the lot.
Absolute end of it. No more 150 the 3. That's it. Done.
I don't even feel like bartering on that. That'll do.
Deal.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Targeting the bell foundry has really paid off. That's 2 deals done, including the rare bells. And there's some news about the bespoke industrial wheel table.
So, what's the verdict?
It seems we've got a large job coming up next year that might need that table. You got first dibs on it?
Let me have first dibs on it. I definitely want it. Even prepared to leave you a deposit on it. A sizable one, because we want that. So, we found out that the immense tabletop that I really want to buy, they may have a job for it next year. Fine. Okay, we're lucky to have even found it. So, we've left the bid there. I'm happy to leave the money. Not bothered, as long as I get it.
Drew's...
I love places like this, and this has to be one of the best, if not the best, original factory I've ever set foot in. It's incredible. It's hardly changed. Everything pales into insignificance from the tabletop and the pair of bells. Thoroughly amazed all round.
We've got this ancient craft business here, which is appreciated all over the country, all over the world, and it was good to see Drew also appreciate that. A superb day with Drew and T.
For Drew, his plan has worked. He pinpointed an industrial factory and has come away with some amazing pieces. And although he has a bit of a wait, he's got a star item with the enormous tabletop.
Good place, that. Try and get into buildings like that, is to find things like that. I've got a customer I know wants a big garden table to seat her entire family around. I know she hasn't got one, because I haven't found one. So they're that difficult to get hold of. Superb.
With several unusual items to share with the team, Drew's eager to get back to base.
Was it worth it?
Oh my God. We've just been to John Taylor's Bell Foundry in Loughborough. The factory is the best original factory I've ever seen. It's probably the best one left on the planet.
Really?
It's unbelievable. Unsurprisingly, we bought some bells.
You bought some bells?
And there's hundreds of original old bells there. Huge.
Oh,
Huge.
gosh, these do weigh a lot, don't they?
Yeah. But I was over the moon with those.
We have...
And we found they had a table there, right? And it's the best industrial table I've ever seen. 3-metre circular top, which they've said we can have, but not for a year. But we agreed, what, 700 quid for that?
He's put his name to it in a year's time. So I've just mentioned that to Ruth. In 1 year, we need to get straight on the telephone.
Focusing time and resources on sourcing particular items Drew knows sell well makes good business sense. And that's exactly what he's aiming for with his next trip. He's targeting a country house over 100 miles away in Shropshire.
It's really good to target stately homes because they are a great source.
We're off to see James Wheeler, and he owns Bitterley Court, which is great access. Big, old country house furniture, moneyed area, moneyed owner. This is exactly the sort of place that I love it when I get these calls. So this one, potentially, little gold mine.
Recognised as an area of outstanding natural beauty, the Shropshire Hills is miles of rolling landscape, winding rivers and greenery as far as the eye can see. It's considered to be some of the UK's most stunning countryside. Nestled in the heart of the Clee Hills is the impressive Bitterley Court. It was Georgianised in the late 18th century.
My great-grandfather bought the property in 1898. I lived here as a boy and then went away to school, coming back here in 2004 to bring up my children. There's a lot of stuff that accumulates in a house like this over the years, and it's very difficult to know what to do with it. There are clearly things that are not needed and stuffed away in various corners. Looking forward to meeting the salvage hunters. Good to meet you. Hello. Hi, T.
Can we have a look inside?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, love the house. It's the proper thing, and it's the full Monty. So tell me about this fireplace, then. That's unusual.
So, one with a little book, and him with his shepherd's crook or something.
Yeah. The faces are really good, aren't they? Particularly this one.
They're probably part of the fabric, unfortunately. I think it's a listed.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not going to try and pull that off your wall. First impressions driving up to the house is it's got this beautiful Georgian facade to it, and it's set in the rolling countryside. It's a quintessentially English feeling about the place. And then when you walk in, it's got the wonderful entranceway here with the 4 doors going off and the pillars and the fabulous ceiling. Big country houses are my bread and butter. I'm constantly looking for beautiful country house furnishings. That's the thing I want more than anything. Now you're talking. What a room. Lovely. That's pretty wonderful. Where did you acquire that? It's a very good piece. My first impression is it's Irish. Second half of the 18th century. Serving table. Really good. It's lovely. Really, really nice and fairly valuable. 6 figures.
6 figures?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
This 18th century serving table, with its intricate carved skirting, would have been used during large dinners and parties for the staff to serve guests from. In almost pristine condition and with an unusual design, it could be worth as much as £100,000.
Interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this is more me.
Right.
Little armchairs and things like that. And one thing I really do like is this.
Oh, right.
That's lovely. It's just really elegant, isn't it? That's the sort of country house. Original, extremely worn upholstery on the top. Never had any restoration done to it at all. Absolutely honest as the day is long. Super attractive. Really want to buy it.
This late 19th century footstool was made in the style of furniture popular during the early 1800s, with its simple, elegant base and tapestry top. Completely untouched and unrestored, it's fairly worn with almost 150 years of use. But its authenticity means it could be worth around £600.
Talk about a price.
What about 500?
Can I have a think about that?
Have a think about it. Yeah,
Lovely.
That's fine. That's
okay.
fine. Anyway, that's a good start. Can we have a look at some more?
Yep.
Yeah.
Drew set his sight off. There are promising signs that the place will deliver.
That's nice.
Yeah?
That's lovely. Yeah, that's lovely.
That was my father's favourite chair.
Yeah, it's fab. I'm slightly obsessed with chairs.
You like sitting down?
I do like sitting down, yeah. No, this is lovely. Pull it out and have a better look at it. It's in the manner of it isn't a Howard. But it's very, very similar to one. But it isn't one. The leather is really attractive. This has been redone, so it's been resprung underneath.
Yeah.
But the leather, I'd say, was original. You can have a sit in it. Yeah, they've resprung the seat. It's very hard, isn't it? Not very comfortable. Would you want to part with it?
I wouldn't mind parting with that one, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, okay. It's a great colour. The style is fun. And find out it has been utterly overstuffed, oversprung. It's like sitting on a leather rock. But nevertheless, a cracking chair. Classic look to it. The condition of the leather is in the condition that I would like to find all leather chairs.
This leather armchair from the late 1800s is in the style of a Howard chair. Although the seat needs to be loosened up and it's missing its casters, it's still a classic piece of country house Victorian seating, which always does well on the website. It could be worth around £2,000.
What would I want to pay for that? £800.
He's in need of good quality country house furniture to sell, so he's targeted a Georgian manor house, Bitterly Court. He's hoping to top up his coffers of beautifully crafted items, and he's bidding on a classic Victorian armchair.
How does... £800.
I'd be happy with that. We'll go for it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Thank you very much.
Marvellous. Happy with that?
You fix it up, I might buy it back off you.
Fine. I wanted to be fair on the chair. That one looked good, and it is good. It's quality. The quality of the leather, just that alone, sets it aside. So I wanted to make sure we got it. Wanted to win it with an opening bid.
On this piece, it's exactly the kind of furniture he wanted to find, and he's determined to seek out more in some of the storage areas.
Ah, okay. I have to be honest, my eyes are drawn to something straight away, which is that stable.
I'm guessing that my great aunts probably would have played with them. There were 7. My great grandmother had 7 children.
I mean, I don't suppose you would sell it, would you? It's such a nice decorative thing. Beautiful, in fact. Minor bits of damage to it, but nothing really. There's a couple of finials missing off that side and a bar broken there, but apart from that, it's fine. It needs to be out, really.
It would be nice for it to be used as opposed to stuck in the junk room.
If you don't want it.
The table was probably estate-made during the late 19th century, but repaired later. Although missing its original horses, it's a rare window into upper-class Victorian childhood. With a simple clean-up and some minor repairs, it could be worth around £700.
It's a really nice one. It's really charming, actually. It's a lovely thing. Completely original paint. Very well made. Beautiful finish. Big, but not too big. I've not seen one as nice as that, actually. Old children's toys appeal on a number of levels. Some of them can be quite rare and very valuable.
That one is a nice decorator piece for... I see that on a big serving table, actually, in a hallway, or a very large console table. With that on it, it's lovely. I would be happy to pay...
We should get it down, the stables, and see whether it's rotten or not.
Yeah.
And if it's in good nick, you might want to up your full 50 a bit, possibly.
Very nice, very attractive. It's really nice, very pretty. 500?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, happy?
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Drew's managed to do 2 great deals on fantastic items of country house living. But before he calls it a day, there's one piece of business still outstanding.
So it was 500 was the offer on it, which is all I can do, really.
We thought about it, and because if we sold it, we'd have to replace it with something else, which would probably cost 500 or more.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to keep it.
Okay, fair enough, I understand. Today I got to do one of my favourite things, which go around an old Georgian country house. We bought a couple of things I really liked. The leather armchair, which is a staple of the business. Seating, lighting, it's an awful lot of what we do. And I bought something really unusual. Never bought a child's model stable. It's interesting and incredibly authentic. I love doing my job. It's great.
Today was good fun, actually. It was great meeting Drew and tea, and I'm really pleased that I managed to get rid of the most uncomfortable chair in the house, and hopefully the stable will go to a good home.
Back at base, Drew wants to get the team's take on his latest country house treasures.
Went to see a guy called James at a fabulous house.
It's literally 4 horseplay.
I think it's beautiful.
It's just beautifully done. It doesn't have to be used as a stable for children. It's decorative, paintwork, colour is just to die for. A lovely little find.
This as well. How nice is that?
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's the right height.
That's a man's.
That's the problem. It's been re-sprung underneath and it's way too hard.
You could tell from Drew's look he knew he'd found a gem. I could actually say that's probably one of the nicest armchairs we've had. It's definitely the best that we've got in stock at the moment.
Before the chair can be put on the website, the uncomfortable seat needs sorting. So expert upholsterer Craig gets straight on with the restoration.
You can hear the springs making a noise.
First, he needs to get a good look at the previous reupholstering to know what he's dealing with.
These springs are very, very tough springs. So what we'll do is tie these bits up here, these bottom coils, and compress the bottom of the spring. That should stretch the top of the spring, which will make the seat softer.
Craig uses laid cord, the traditional twine used for tying springs.
So what I'm going to do is tie it to the bottom of the coil here, and then we're going to pull it up, and we'll have to tie it either to the bottom of the spring or to the web.
He ties each spring off, stretching them out to relax the seat on top.
There we go. So there's some movement in that, it's still soft.
Once the bottom is tacked back on and any missing studs replaced,
It's soft enough for me. So Drew's a bit heavier than me.
reserves it almost straight away. The marbleized pedestals from St Francis Xavier's Church, along with the ornate candelabras, all sell to one of Drew's regular customers, who felt the ecclesiastical style and clean lines fitted perfectly with his existing style. And the rare Pugin chairs are snapped up by a collector in Mayfair. The family business specialises in 18th and early 19th century furniture, so these gems are the perfect addition to their stock.
Because I need to keep a regular, fast-flowing amount of stock coming through the business, I need to be very, very focused. If I target, say, stately homes, churches, or industrial buildings, I know exactly what sort of thing I'm going to get, and every now and again a little gem pops up. Great stuff.